Alright, you guys might have been wondering where I've been for the last week and why I haven't uploaded, and I will explain that just after the intro.
Round for round in my bed, she the one I think I found till I'm dead. I don't want nobody else in my head.
And no, I don't need another one. We can stay up late and have a ton of fun. Take your clothes off. What's in my drink? It won't let me doze off. In deep breaths, girl, overdose on Zola. And I've been up all night, sweating in my dreams. I tried to run away, but you're trapping me. Romance reacted chemically.
Alright, on Sunday at about 9:30 to about 9:30 p.m. I became very ill after dinner. I was just walking around, I was like completely fine all day, and then at like 9:30 I got this horrendous pain down my ribs, down my side, and it was crippling. I couldn't move, and like usually I'm pretty good with my tolerance to pain, like I can take a lot of pain, but I like fully couldn't move. I was quite scared. So I had this pain down my side here in my ribs, and then it started moving up into my chest, and then I found it hard to breathe. I could take really quick, short breaths, but I couldn't take any deep breaths. Anytime I took a deep breath, I felt like I was gonna pass out. I got really lightheaded. So we ended up calling the ambulance after about 10 minutes of this happening. And then the ambulance got here, and I was in my hallway, cambered over, and I just couldn't breathe properly. So they gave me some type of pen that has like the laughing gas or something similar to the laughing gas in it.
Wow, am I dying?
I don't know. And that took the pain away from my ribs for a little bit, and then they took me down to the hospital and they took me into the emergency room, and then there I just kept sucking on this pen, and the pen was making me feel good. It was just keeping the pain away temporarily, and then I think I was probably there for like half an hour, and then they took some blood because they needed to see what was wrong with me. So they took, I don't know, three of their tubes of blood, and then about 2.5 minutes after that I felt like my entire body just started getting really hot, and then it came really, like I got like pins and needles throughout my whole body, and then my head started waving around this, and then I passed out. And then apparently my mum was sitting there, and apparently I was only passed out for about like 10 seconds or 9 seconds or something, but I in my head thought I was out for like 2 or 3 hours. And then I woke up, I had absolutely no idea where I was. And then I woke up, I was like this, and then I just started like vomiting everywhere, all over myself. And I woke up, I was so disorientated, I had no idea where I was, and I was just vomiting everywhere. And then I think a nurse or one of the ambulance ladies came in, and then I got all this vomit up. And then after that I just felt like absolute shit. And then, I don't know, like 2.5 hours later, the doctor came in with my results for my blood. Came in and she said that I had like minor pancreatitis, which is, I don't know, it's like an organ in your body that helps you digest your food. So basically it stopped working, and all the food that was sitting inside my chest just sat there, and then everything just started enclosing, and that's why I found it hard to breathe and stuff. So this is what happened to me here. It's like this thing here just in my body just decided to stop working, and then that's the disease if anyone wants to have a quick search. So yeah, I ended up spending the night at the hospital. I got moved into the overnight ward at about 3 AM, and they kept checking my blood pressure and my heart rate, I think every 2 hours of that night. And then at about 11 the next morning, I had an ultrasound scan. So they put that gel on you. It's like what they give to pregnant women to check if I had gallstones or something. And then that all came clear, and then I ended up leaving the hospital on Monday at 4:30 PM. And I've been just really tired and just a bit lightheaded ever since. So I'm trying to get back, but I don't want to just force myself to get back. And like I've been spending only a few periods a day at school, and I've been really tired, and I've been sleeping a lot. But yeah, hopefully everything will be alright and it doesn't come back, because it was actually quite scary when it happened.
Give me a second, I'm trying to select the appropriate weapon. Watch where you stepping, them snakes all around, you know they connected. When I was a kid, my grandmama told me I can't go to heaven, so I stopped praying and asking for blessings and started preparing for my Armageddon. Got nothing to lose, I'm all in. Walking the edge, don't fall in. Enough of the lies, don't apologize, I don't understand, are you foreign? This is the place, this is the site. Grab all your people and log in. I'm waiting, don't care how long it's gonna take. Watching and waiting for that first mistake. Don't come up missing, don't get it twisted. I'm not Rihanna, but boy, you a gunner, you right on my hit list. Keeping my distance.
Alright, that was 10 times 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And it's my first wind training session since I've been back. And that killed. Alright, for today's video I want to talk about how many bikes I've owned since I started riding in 2014 and to now 2018. I'm pretty sure the number is quite large.
Hey! Let's go! Back! Yo, once again I'm back around, real shit back in style, haters reconcile, I'm so black and proud, first class tickets now, feet all in the eye, everybody looking down, everybody get red when you drown, huh? Looking me up, I'm putting it down, you picking it up, checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck, go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune, common sense, welcome to the apocalypse, bitch, I'm one of those.
Alright, so I started out as a swimmer, and then I went swimming, running, like track, and then back to swimming, and then I did triathlon, and then I busted my knee, and then I fully started cycling properly in 2014. So we'll start there. So I think my mum brought me my first road bike, which is a photograph here, in 2011, and I rode that from 2011 to 2014. It was like an extra small men's road bike or something, and it cost $275 at the time. And I rode that. I wasn't really into cycling. I did a few triathlons, and that's basically all I used it for. I never went out training. But then we moved from Wellington to Masterton, where I live now, in 2014, and I rode a Giant Defy, which cost $800. And I rode that for, I think, probably 8 or 9, maybe 10 months. And then I had a grand idea that I would buy a fake Cervelo S5 and build it up with Ultegra 6700, which was the 10-speed Ultegra. So I did that, and that ended up costing about $1,800, but I took parts off the Giant Defy to build that, so yes. And then I rode that for about 3 or 4 months, and then I crashed it, and I cracked the entire thing in half because it was a fake Cervelo. And then from there I bought well, it must have been 2015, I bought a Merida Reacto with 11-speed Ultegra Di2 and Fulcrum wheels, I'm pretty sure. And that was like probably one of the most expensive bikes I've ever bought. So that was 2015, and that cost $5,000 I think, or $5,200 brand new. And then I rode that for probably just under a year, and then I bought a Cervelo S3 with SRAM Red, which was a 10-speed SRAM Red. I don't know why, but I really wanted it. And so I got rid of the Merida and got that Cervelo, and that cost me about $2,800 to $3,000. Or it must have been 2016. Start of 2016, I saved up and I brought an Avanti Corsa SL with Durace 9000 and Zip 202 clincher wheels, which is probably to this day like stock. And if you were to go in and buy it, and this is probably the most expensive bike I've ever owned, if you were to go in and buy that new at the time in 2016, I'm pretty sure it was $12,500 or $12,000 or something ridiculous. I didn't end up paying that. I think I paid around $5 grand for it, or $4.5 grand. And then from there I crashed that when I did my shoulder in must have been 2015 or 16. I did my shoulder anyway, and I crashed that, and then I kept all the stuff on it, but I got the DR, which is the Aero version of that frame, as my replacement frame. So I built it up with Durace, and then I had that, and then I rode that I think until the end of like 2016, and then 2017 is like when I started making these videos on YouTube, and I had that Cervelo R3, and that cost me $4,300 I think, and that's got the Ultegra group set on it, and that came with some Mavic wheels I'm pretty sure, and that Ultegra group set is still the group set I'm using to this day on my Chapter 2 bikes. And yeah, so I got that Cervelo, I think I rode that for 3 or 4 months, and then I got sponsored by Chapter 2, so I was like, sweet as, out the door Cervelo. And then I got my Chapter 2, I got the first version of the Chapter 2 Terre. I got that limited edition blue frame, which I still have. So this is the first Chapter 2 bike I ever owned. I'm pretty sure we called it Terry. And this is a limited edition one. I don't know, I think they made like 10 or 20 of these ones with this like turquoisey green colour. This was an awesome bike, but I got this got cracked on the way back from Triathlon Nationals last year. And then I got the newer, like 2018 frame. So that's the one I've got at the moment, which is one of the standard ones that you can go and buy on the website. Link is in the description to that if you guys are looking for a new frame. Check out Chapter 2 because they're pretty awesome bikes. I've still got this one because I think it just looks so damn cool. And so yeah, the last 2 bikes I've owned, the Chapter 2 have been sponsored, so I haven't had to pay anything. So the most expensive 2 bikes I've ever brought, like we've actually paid my good hard-earned money for, the Merida Reacto Di2, which cost like 5 grand, and then the first time we brought the Avanti Corsa SL, which had the Durace and the Zip 202s, which was definitely the highest spec bike I've ever owned. Alright, that is the end of today's video. It is Wednesday today. On Friday or Saturday morning, Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, I'm either going to be heading up to the Hawke's Bay to hang out with Josh and go for a few rides. So there'll be definitely some videos coming in the next few days from that. And like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe.
When I think I found till I'm dead, I don't want nobody else in my head.
And no, I don't need another one. We can stay up late and have a ton of fun. Take your clothes off. What's in my drink? It won't let me doze off.